Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another segment of Warm Yogurt on Your Back. I am Xavier.
And I am a more passive Mr. J at the moment.
We wanted to pick a better topic because enrage Mr. J. That's it. We want something a little bit more fun. I'm not really sure if it's going to really get fun, but we're going to get a little bit nostalgic. So let's start off with the rumor, I don't even know if it's true, that they're going to cancel Spongebob.
You can't cancel Spongebob. I mean,
but they need to.
Why would they cancel Spongebob?
I haven't heard why. Something, maybe the voice of SpongeBob is leaving. Like I said, I haven't had cable TV in years, so I don't really know if it's true. But a lot of things that are fun are actually being canceled. Like you mentioned before we got on camera, the Boondocks. The
Boondocks, yeah,
are being canceled.
Yeah, like it hasn't been out for years. It's actually coming up on 20 years since he first drew the comic strip.
Yeah.
And I read a post earlier that he's trying to think of a new avenue that's going to touch this generation without being insensitive. I mean, really, like, it sucks that you have to shape your lifeblood around sensitive people. Like, it's a TV show. Change the channel, motherfucker. It's that simple.
Well, what I find funny is that these people are doing this for the loud minority that don't even watch the shows.
Right.
Yet they're extremely popular. So why cancel it? Because you're worried about hurting a bunch of butt little bitches?
I mean, seriously, like, the very first lyric of the theme song is, "I am the stone that the builder refused."
Yep. I am the visual.
Right there. I mean, it says it right in the damn theme song. Look, I interpret that as, look, we're not going to be fucking liked by everybody, but we're still going to build something.
Right.
So,
and it also
I don't get it that we've got to, again, like you said, hide. Because
they're raising these kids, and I seriously say kids because they go to college and they're still children. I don't know why, but they are. In fact, they go to college and they become more children. They expect to be wrapped in bubble wrap, and anything that they disagree with cannot be heard because they need safe spaces, and they need to go to psychiatrists because, for example, a conservative Republican spoke on a college campus and a liberal Democrat heard him. The liberal Democrat needs to go to a psychiatrist because he felt threatened. That is our actual society, and it's getting fucking scary as hell.
Yeah, I mean, it's like in some way what that person said literally tainted your gray matter to a point where you have to see a fucking trained professional to work it out.
Yeah. Like, whatever happened to a hardened shell, which, by the way, you only get whenever you have diversity around you. And diversity is not the color of skin.
Yeah, you can't build up an immunity if you're fucking sheltered from the disease.
Yeah. So it comes back to what we said previously in the one other segment about the video games and guns. They're trying to better a society by making things not offensive, but at the same time they're making things worse.
Well,
the unintended consequences.
I mean, I find that funny too because my daughter religiously watches My Little Pony, and I sit and watch it with her. And you know, honestly, the writing staff on that show, beautiful. You are some talented fucking writers. I give you credit. And they use so many pop culture references that kids wouldn't understand But us as adults would, like I actually caught two separate Pulp Fiction references
Yeah.
in an episode of My Little Pony. And
It's the same thing with Barbie.
It blew my fucking mind.
It's the same thing with Barbie. They're really...
Well, don't even get me down that fucking path, because that's going to be fucking an irritating subject right there.
Well, why not?
Because we're talking about TV shows and we're having fun right now.
Okay.
No, like I said, I mean, the writing staff on My Little Pony, I give you guys all the credit in the world. Superb writers. Your stories are captivating, even for an adult audience, a male adult audience. And I got to tell you, some of that shit makes me laugh.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, you got to give credit where credit's due. I mean, there's a lot of TV shows out there that are trash right now. Pretty much anything on Adult Swim.
Rick and Morty.
Yeah, like, what the fuck? Like, I could shit on a piece of paper and blow my nose, and it's going to be better quality. But that's my opinion.
Well, I think
Go
one
fuck
of
yourself
the
if you don't
last
like it.
bastions of freedom of being offended is South Park.
And honestly, I haven't even seen any newer episodes of South Park, but they're still running strong, apparently.
Well, yeah, they're absolutely. One of the things, they actually have video games now where the recent one that came out with the fractured butthole, when you build your character, and this is apparently was a huge thing, people were so upset about it. When you build your character, what it looks like, then you go to the difficulty settings, and the difficulty setting is literally based on your skin color. The darker you go, the more harder it is. And people were so fucking butthurt, and I'm just like, that's South Park. That's what they do. Like, how did you not see that coming? Like, okay, the difficulty of the game is based on your skin color.
Only the creators of South Park can include white privilege into a video game.
Right. And they
and get away with it.
And get away with it, yeah. But that's the thing. It's and I think this comes down to the rights thing, where everybody thinks that they have an absolute right not to be offended, and that's not the real world.
No, like I said, it's a matter of turning it off or on.
Yeah.
You have a fucking choice here, people.
Yeah.
It's the same with gun owners. If you don't like guns, don't own them.
Right. It's there were girls who got into a huge scandal. It was called Gamergate a long time ago. I won't really get into specifics, but needless to say, gamers were being shit on, and these women were standing in front of United Nations saying that they were being harassed online by gamers because they were lying, and they were called out on it, and there was bribery and shit involved that involved sex. It was really a huge fucking scandal. But needless to say, these girls stood in front of the United Nations and said they were being harassed and it needs to stop online. And I'm like, you ever hear of a block button? You ever hear of a delete button? You ever hear of a fucking scroll down? Are you honestly, if the moment, and here's the thing, when we do this show, we automatically know that it's inevitable, you are going to get shit posters who are going to say the most horrible fucking things to you. There are people that are going to threaten you for your own beliefs and everything like that. Guess what? That's the fucking internet.
Yeah.
And if you cannot figure that out, that you really do have a power button on your computer, you can turn it off, that you can ignore people, that you can just scroll down, that's on you.
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. You were being racially insensitive, so I just stopped listening.
There you go. There's another fucking topic, or just bullshit nonsense. It's like we were discussing with the Mel Brooks movies, Great movies. Almost every single movie Mel Brooks has ever done is a fantastic movie. Blazing Saddles, Spaceballs, you name it. It's all there. Guess what? They cannot be made nowadays.
No, there's no fucking way that they could have been made.
Even though they would be record-breaking numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Because once again, society is a pendulum. It swings from one direction to another. The problem is that it's swinging to oversensitive fucking pussies who think they honestly have a right to not be offended Well, now the pendulum is swinging to the other way where it's like, you know what? We actually want offensive content, just so that we just shut the fuck up. And we'll support anybody who offends them. That's a thing.
I mean, I'm not intentionally looking to offend anybody, but if it happens, it happens. Chances are it's going to.
Yeah. It's like the shit with YouTube, and they censor people like us. They haven't censored us yet because they haven't noticed us. But once we are noticed, they're going to censor you, you racially intolerant Nazi, and me for being a black man in the white man's society.
Yeah, sure.
Because that's how it's going to work.
Right.
Wait, did I get that right? Anyway.
Yeah. I think that might be backwards, but
Nope. My hair, cornrows.
That's all right. That's all right. But yeah, it's. I mean, you can't take away SpongeBob.
Well,
it's a staple.
Just forget SpongeBob. I'm talking about the actual comedy itself. Jerry Seinfeld said he refuses to go to college campuses now because he legitimately fears for his life. Seinfeld, for the love of God.
When I was in college, Seinfeld was like a big fucking thing.
And he was never that offensive.
No.
He barely even pushed the envelope.
George Carlin was way more fucking offensive.
Yeah.
And a lot funnier. But
here's the thing I find funny. You got people like Dave Chappelle. Absolutely hilarious people, you know. But because he's black, he can push that envelope. And it's okay.
Well, to be fair, there's not really too many funny white comedians out there.
That's true. We don't even have fucking rhythm to dance, let alone jump and do comedy. So it's you know who we are.
But then again, like I actually sat down and watched an episode of Def Comedy Jam.
Yeah.
And I couldn't understand half of what the fuck they were saying anyway because of the Ebonics.
Right.
But so, I mean, I guess it's funny to some people, but
you know what show I miss? In Living Color.
That was a great fucking show.
That was fantastic. My favorite part was the Wayans, and then there was Carrie. Like, the Wayans, and then there's Jim Carrey. It was just fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And to me, that was really good comedy because it wasn't considered offense back then, but they, like South Park, they made fun of everybody, every single situation, because it was absurd. Pointing out the absurd is not offensive. And if you find it offensive, there's something wrong with you. Not the people who are pointing it out.
Yeah, like the fact that you can't figure out how to change a channel or turn the power off.
Yeah. Like, I'm not really a fan of Comedy Central because their bias is evident. But I love The Daily Show with Jon Stewart back in the day. But then he retired and gave the reins over to Trevor Noah, who is literally not funny at all. I wish I could even just have a smidgen of thought thinking that he's funny. He's not funny at all. And it's just like,
well,
the only shows that they have are South Park still. And I'm surprised they haven't, I mean, as I understand it, I think they told them to tone down the Muhammad thing. They did one episode where there was a character, Muhammad, and they couldn't do it because they were getting death threats, and Comedy Central told them to stay. And I'm like, seriously? You finally let them censor you after all these years?
And they played that episode anyway.
Yeah, but they covered it up. They covered up the characters so that way they wouldn't offend. And it's just like, come on, man. You've gone this far. Hit the final nail.
I mean, fuck. Seth Rogen and Franco, they did that movie about Kim Jong-un.
Right. And the producers...
where they fucking wind up killing him. And...
yeah, the producers shut down the entire fucking movie. And they said, well, no, fuck that. We're putting it up anyway.
Yeah, apparently they were getting death threats from North Korea. North
Right.
Korea was going to bomb the shit out of the United States if this movie played, and they said, fuck it, we're playing it
Yeah.
anyway.
And I applaud them for that, even though I don't find them funny.
Yeah, I do to an extent.
Well, let me rephrase. I like Franco, but Rogan is not funny at all.
I like Rogan. I like Rogan for his shock value.
I don't find him. I don't even find that. I wish I could. I just don't.
You've seen Sausage Party.
Yep. No, that was but he didn't. I don't really think that he wrote that. All of it.
That was Seth Rogen shock value right there.
Yeah.
But I mean, it honestly, I think we need more of that shit. It's
I
just
agree.
people letting loose and just
which is what we're about. You know, we're here to tell our stories as we see fit, running the risk of literally being censored and our channels being shut down because we're going to offend people.
Yep.
We're going to have shit like Cornbread and Grits is going to hit a lot of nerves, and I don't care because it's funny as fuck.
I can't wait for that one.
Me either. I cannot wait. It's going to be fucking awesome, but we run that risk. And the sad part is that we run that risk because of nowadays society, not where the majority, but the very small minority are so fucking loud that don't even watch any of our content are going to somehow bitch the moment they get a whiff of it. I'm offended. You haven't even watched it. I'm still offended. Fuck you. Don't try to silence me because your butt hurt fucking feeling.
It's right in our disclaimer.
Mm-hmm. It really is. You should actually pause it and read the disclaimer.
Yeah. Straight out of here.
Uh-huh.
If you can't get past that without being offended, just don't even fucking watch the show.
Yeah, because we actually offend you in the disclaimer.
Yeah.
And that's the purpose. We need to get back to the world where you don't like it, okay, walk away.
Right.
You like it, stay. There should not be government laws or fucking companies bearing down on you over some nonsense because you disagree with my politics, you disagree with my comedy. Fuck you. I will do whatever the fuck I want. We put up a website and we run the risk because of our content at some point. Google hiding all of our stuff from search engines. What kind of fucking world is this? That's insane.
Yeah.
Because in Cornbread and Grits, the N-word is going to be used a lot. That's going to be offensive, and I don't care.
And so is several other racial slurs.
Yep. On purpose. That's the purpose of the show. It's to make fun of stereotypes. Because stereotypes are fucking funny.
And, in case any of you didn't know this, they're just words.
But they hurt and stab you.
I need a safe place. Hide me from the dangerous words. Fucking pussies.
Yeah, it's once again.
So back to the whole SpongeBob thing, because this is bugging me now. Like, where the fuck did you see this? Are they really going to take fucking SpongeBob off?
Yeah, I think they're really going to take SpongeBob off.
Well, I know that...
I don't know why, though.
I know that psychiatrists did a thing that 5 minutes worth of SpongeBob actually dumbs your child down.
These are the same psychiatrists that say video games create violent criminals.
But, you know, my 8-year-old daughter watches SpongeBob all the time, and she's more intelligent than most high school kids.
It does happen, people.
I said something to her the other day, and she looked me dead in the face and said, "That's just absurd." And I'm like...
How do you use that word? Do you even know what that word means?
Yeah, I'm like... And she's like, "Yeah, it's on my spelling list." Boom! And
yeah.
It's like, holy shit. You know, we're sitting there talking, a group of us, and someone said AKA, and she goes, also known as. And we're
Wow.
like,
Dude, that's awesome.
fuck, what 8-year-old knows this shit?
Right.
So don't tell me SpongeBob dumbs you down.
Right.
If you're fucking stupid, you're fucking stupid.
Well, I think it comes down to, like what I talked about in a previous episode, the religious right back in the 90s, how they attacked everything. Like Marilyn Manson was said that he was told that he's the one who caused Columbine and shit like that. And it's they still try to censor everybody. That's why I don't like politics on either side. Democrat, Republican, doesn't fucking matter. They're all fucking guilty of some bullshit nonsense. And every one of them is all about power, control over you. And in order to do that, they divide us. I'm supposed to hate him because he's not white, and he's supposed to hate me because I'm out to get him.
But you are, aren't you?
I mean, yeah, if I'm out to get you, I get control of the company.
No, you don't.
No, just because she has control of the company doesn't mean that she'll be able to do anything until she's 18. You honestly think she's going to argue with me over what TV shows I'm going to put out?
Okay, and I hate to do this to you, but I'm going to throw out
Here we go.
a comic book reference. In the formation of the Justice League, Batman researched every superhero.
Yeah, I know. He had a
in the
plan to
Justice
destroy
League
every single
weekend.
person, just in case, yes.
And he has a contingency plan,
Yeah.
just in case. Guess what? I've got your kryptonite, motherfucker.
You found chocolate milk?
Yeah.
It's good to be paranoid.
I tied the delete button to my hard drive to my heartbeat. So if my heartbeat stops, it wipes my fucking hard drive clean, and you're fucked. So you got to start all over
That's
again,
not gonna
motherfucker,
end
because
well
you don't
for
know how
me.
to back shit up.
That's not going to end well for me no matter what.
No,
Like,
it's not.
if you get into a car accident tomorrow, I'm boned.
There you are. You should have thought about
I'll
that
be sitting
shit
there
before you started
mourning your
throwing
death,
out
and I'm
threats.
going to be mourning your death, and at the same time be like, motherfucker, what a dick. Probably going to get punched in the face by your daughter after that, too.
Yeah,
It's
the
not
only
about
thing
you.
that's gonna pop. The only thing that's gonna pop up on the screen is "haha, motherfucker."
Right? Yeah,
So,
I miss.
well, like good TV shows, like they just seem to disappear,
Yeah.
and I guess it's because of all the insensitivity in the fucking world. But
We are insensitive because Americans, and this is the truth, Americans, our inherent belief, I think it's actually in our DNA. Our inherent belief is we don't care about your feelings.
Mhm.
We really don't. You look over on the over the pond to England, okay? They are some uptight, calm people. I've seen protesters that are like, they don't get violent. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, we fucking go balls to the wall with the cops and everything. Not them. They're all like, I don't like you, but I'll get out of your way. Because I'm blocking your way. That was a terrible accent, but still.
yeah, yeah,
That was just-
don't
that
ever
was-
do that. Shit.
I wasn't even trying, to be honest with you. But,
You're not digging yourself out of that one, motherfucker.
we,
That was insensitive towards English people.
and it's the same thing with our outlook on government, too, is we believe that our rights are not given to us by government. It's by our creator, or in case of the atheists out there, because people need to understand this, just simply because you're born, you have these rights, these inherent fucking rights. And a lot of people that bitch on Facebook about free healthcare and whatnot, and it's like, you're talking about a society that has been indoctrinated since birth that believes that their government is God, that their government can do whatever they want to them, and they're okay with it. You got people over in the UK that are being arrested for Facebook posts. Their police is actively on Facebook telling them, if you write offensive words on Facebook, we will find you and we will arrest you. And they think they're the good guys.
In North Korea, it is actually illegal to watch pornography.
Man, they must be really, really sad society.
So I
Born
mean,
for Harambe.
that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, it's just wrong. I mean, then again, their leader doesn't poop, and he's a god. But
Sure.
you know, and like with China, they censor fucking every single thing known to man because Lord forbid people start thinking for themselves. And that's my point is that
Right.
I think our society is heading down that road, and it's going to be under the guise of sensitivity and not being offensive.
Yeah.
I honestly believe that in the wisdom of these cocksuckers that they think that they're creating a better society. In fact, it's going to be much worse because the more and more sensitive people are becoming, the less they can take, and to the point where if you say hi to a woman on the street, she has the right to violently attack you, and it could make her burst into tears on the sidewalk, and the cops are called and you're arrested because you spoke to a woman without her consent.
Well, that's all right. They're making robots now, so you don't even need women.
I saw that. Of course, the women are touting it on Facebook, saying that we don't need men anymore. I'm like, yeah, but you really need
Okay.
to understand that.
Okay, that's fine.
But people are. I miss good fucking TV shows. It's insane. I miss Full Metal Alchemist, Ghost Michelle, Samurai Champloo. What's that bounty hunter show? I love Fascist Stampede.
Yeah, Trigon.
Yeah, Trigun. And
That was just a
Cowboy-
short-lived series.
Cowboy
anyway.
Bebop.
Yeah.
I didn't realize there was someone in my house. That's some creepy shit right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah,
Anyway.
and now everybody's afraid to put that stuff out there.
Yeah, and like taking away shit like SpongeBob and
Well, like I said,
the
I don't know
Boondocks
why they're
not being here.
but I agree with the Boondocks. That's just
That's fucking stupid.
you're going
I
to
just
destroy your material for money. That's what you're telling me. You're going to build an entire thing to be culturally sensitive to other people. You're selling yourself out. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, that bothers me as an artist.
Yeah. It comes down to what you were saying in the graffiti episode.
Yeah, it's like you're basically selling your soul to the fucking devil.
Yeah, for money. For those views.
And it's just where do you draw that line?
The line shouldn't be drawn except for one thing. My stuff, I'll do what I want.
Right.
I'm not asking permission. You don't like it, don't watch.
Oh, I 100% fucking agree with you on that. It's
I mean, everything is so watered down. You could not make Heathers in this day and age. Really, Heathers? Two people that fall in love and they're school shooters. It's a movie. They're a bunch of it's insane. It's like it's like an older version of Natural Born Killers, only for high school. But then again, as I understand it, they might be making a Netflix special. I don't know, but point being is that you can't do that because people are going to be butthurt. Oh my God, this happened in real life, so therefore, no. It's called art, a work of fiction. It's supposed to let you want to watch it or you don't. A plot is a plot. Like I can fucking, I can shit
like
all
with
over
that.
it.
Like with that being said, though, like you take a movie like that you say, or Natural Born Killers, where it's two people just killing people. Basically, the premise of the movie.
Yep.
But then you take a movie like Dirty Harry or Death Wish,
Which also can, well, Death Wish can.
which the man's life was fucking altered.
Mm-hmm.
Because of a tragic happening.
Yeah.
And he's taking out bad guys violently.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Because he's killing bad guys.
No, actually, it's not okay. The Bruce Willis version of Death Wish that's coming out now, it's apparently not okay because it's culturally insensitive.
I don't even want to fucking see it, to be honest with you, just because...
I'll watch it because Bruce Willis.
Yeah, but from my understanding, he's one of those real-life douchebags that it just makes you not want to even tolerate his fucking movies.
Probably.
But, I mean, you can't beat the fucking original.
True.
It's like...
That's why I want to see it. I want to see if it stacks up. That's my whole thing.
Just from the trailers, it doesn't even look like it stacks up.
I don't know. I have to find out.
I mean, it just...
But the trailer, though, what the fuck was up with that MTV, ex-MTV guy that was talking on a podcast about it? I'm like, really? That guy?
Huh?
The one who always wore the Jamaican thing with his fucking hair.
Sway.
Yeah, Sway. I'm like, really?
He's been gone since the 90s.
And yet
Where the fuck did
somehow
he come back from?
He's in the trailer. They're on a podcast talking about this guy who's taking things into his own hands.
Oh, I didn't even pay attention to who it was.
What about Vanilla Ice?
Vanilla Ice does construction now. He's
Right.
like, fuck that shit. He had his 15 minutes of fame.
Right.
But yeah, like they can't take away these shows. I mean, as an adult, I obviously enjoyed these shows. You know, like even as a kid, like He-Man and Masters of the Universe.
Yeah.
That shit was just homoerotic on a whole nother fucking level.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
he was a dual personality. He was a gay man, and then he was the ultimate architecture of a hero.
Yeah, but it's like...
They just didn't bother coming out and just blatantly saying it. It was all subtle.
Yeah, but it's just like a bunch of guys running around in their underwear, and that was okay.
Wasn't She-Ra his sister or something?
Yeah.
Thus proving...
But it's like
that they should have been a couple, but for some reason... Well, not for some reason. We all know why. He was her brother. It's because, they couldn't get together. We know that.
Yeah, but it was one of those, like, we watched that shit as kids, and we didn't grow up to be, like...
Fuck, I watched G.I. Joe religiously.
Yeah, but they taught you a lesson at the end of G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Well, at the end of He-Man, they gave you a moral of the story too. Right. And then you take like shows like the real Ghostbusters, who had to have the token black guy.
Yes, I'm not sure what was his role.
Winston was just like he wasn't actually a scientist. He was just a black dude that needed a job.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I mean, I love Winston. Winston had his moments, but I didn't see the role.
I mean, for the 80s,
yeah,
he was like the pinnacle of fucking black role models in the 80s.
Yeah, he was in this.
He was a well-spoken black man that had his shit together and wanted to get a job.
Yeah.
You got to give it to the man.
And as I understand, he didn't have a family. He didn't make babies and wander off, get thrown in jail or anything like that.
No. He just did his thing and.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, for the most part, he was an Uncle Tom, but.
Yeah. And then, for the most part, all the Ghostbusters were fucking assholes.
Well, yeah.
But that was the point. Is that they knew everything more than you when it came to this particular field. You're a dumbass, and that was the tongue-in-cheek of it. And what's funny was, these guys in that movie, in the first movie, they're fucking grinding on the EPA. the guy that the redhead that was in there,
Yeah.
trying to shut them down. They were fucking. He's like, pure government fucking nonsense. Of course, you guys shut down things you don't understand. And yet, the moment the movie's over, these guys are big fucking huge Democrats who love the EPA in real life. I'm like, really? I get it. It's acting, but you actually created this role. If you believed in it, you should have actually stuck to your guns. You know?
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it didn't work for the, okay, we're going to let you shut us down.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know what? You're absolutely right. We can't have a nuclear containment facility in the middle of fucking New York City. You're absolutely right. Movie's over.
Right. And to be fair, you know, even writing my characters, there are many characters that I write that do not follow my prism, my spectrum at all. Because they're characters, they have to be written that way. But Ramos and all them, they hand-delivered this entire movie. So I figured at some point their bias would have came in. You never saw it. I give them credit for that, but at the same time, it's a bit hypocritical after the fact, you know?
Well, yeah. But, I mean, like I said, we need a better palette of fucking movies out there now. I mean, a lot of what's coming out is just remakes and fucking junk, and if not both.
Yeah, or Star Wars made by Disney.
But now, I mean, you've got, you've taken away and restrained a lot of the great filmmakers and TV execs. I mean, you take like a show like Ren and Stimpy.
Right.
Where the creator, John Kay, was fucking fired from his own show because he wouldn't do what Nickelodeon told him to do.
Right.
You know, and right after that, Ren and Stimpy went downhill and off the fucking air.
Yep.
Great fucking show, though.
Yeah, agreed. Courage the Cowardly Dog always freaked me the hell out, but...
I like that show. I always got a good laugh out of that show.
Yeah, but that's... Do I think they could make another version of something like that nowadays? Hell no. It might give the children nightmares because parents aren't responsible for their kids. They don't watch what they're doing. So we got to blame the TV show.
In my defense, the other night I was like sitting in the kitchen doing something. I wasn't paying attention, and I stroll out into the living room, and the lights are all out in the living room. TV's on, and my niece, my nephew, and my daughter are all sitting on the fucking couch watching The Babadook, which is like some Japanese horror movie.
Yeah.
And they're like 8, 9, and 10, and I'm like, yeah, you guys probably shouldn't be watching this. And you know what? None of them had nightmares that I know of,
Yeah.
but you know, it's like I'm trying to train these kids right. It's like
my 11-year-old, she doesn't have that. She just doesn't like them. Just not a thing for her. But my 7-year-old, she freaks out over the smallest things. So I censor myself in my house just to protect her and whatnot because that's what parents do. I don't let TV or internet run my children's life. Just throwing that out there, you know. I mean, I know personal responsibility, man. Screw that shit. It's all, you know, their fault or something. I don't know. Anyway.
Did the government tell you to do that?
The government absolutely told me to do that because that's how I live my life, by the government's rules.
Okay, then it's correct.
Yeah, okay, all right, good. Thank God, I was really worried about that. Next thing you know, we're going to be following Trump around as he tells everybody, hey, we can just take the guns and worry about due process after the fact. Because that's somehow a thing.
Keep my mouth shut on that one.
I flip shit on that, I'll be honest with you.
But, yeah, it's like, I mean, let these fucking filmmakers and creators do their fucking thing. I mean, like I said, one of the biggest creators that I really, really, really want to work with is Jonan Vasquez.
Mm-hmm.
who created Invader Zim. But before Invader Zim, he wrote a comic book series called Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, which is basically tells the story of this guy Johnny who just brutally fucking kills people just because. And it's a great fucking book series. I mean, I've read all 7 issues of it, including the offset issues. And I got to tell you, like, I agree with this fucking guy on a lot of things. It's like he flipped out and slaughtered an entire Taco Bell because the lady called a spork wacky.
What?
Like, he slaughtered the entire Taco Bell, and then he ate his taco and he left.
Okay, that escalated.
Yeah, but do you know what? I am in total fucking agreement. It just, like, he walks by a cafe, and he doesn't like the way a guy is sipping his mochaccino, and he slaughters the whole fucking cafe in operatic form while listening to his headphones.
Well, I gotta tell you, I have been having these ideas in my head about a cop show on the R Way lately.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, you know, Mr. J and Xavier as cops pulling people over.
It's going to be like a cross between Super Troopers and...
I'll take my Oscar now.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be like a really violent Super Troopers.
Yeah.
It's basically what it would come down to.
I have been thinking about it. I'm like, I should just put my personality, your personality, into police officers.
No.
That would absolutely work. That would absolutely work. Don't tell me no. That would absolutely work.
I think it would be better if it was just 2 guys that were pretending to be police officers, just fucking with people.
Okay, we can do that.
I mean...
But see, that's the whole point of what we do. We're not asking permission. We're just going to do it if we want to.
Right.
And if people watch it, then they do. If they don't, they don't.
But my point is you know, like I said, I'd love to work with Jonan Vasquez in the future. Definitely on an animation project or even a publication project. His early work as an underground artist was fucking brilliant. And it laid the groundwork for what he created in animation.
Yeah.
And Invader Zim was a short-lived show as well. It's now back in, it's actually in the comic form now. He's continuing the story on in comic form. And he's no longer making Johnny anymore, which is
a shame.
Kind of sad. But those roots, it was brilliant.
Yeah.
But he could not get away with making that comic now.
Yeah. Well, it's like this series.
Like, I would just, like, seriously, I'd love to just crawl inside of his fucking mind for a day just to figure that shit out. Like, dude, like, where did this fucking come from? Oh, I'm surprised. You know what? You haven't killed anybody in real life. Holy shit, how does this happen?
Right.
You know, it's just, let these fucking creators do their fucking thing.
Well, one thing
like,
I always...
To see that in animated form, in an animated movie, would be fucking mind-blowing.
One thing that always bugs me about all of this is this is a business. People want this content. They absolutely want this content. There are butthurt little pussies out there who don't want this content, and they'll do everything they can to censor you and shut you down because they don't like what you think. Having said that, if it makes money, you put it out. Why you are ignoring the actual purpose of a business if you lower your amount of money.
And do you know what? Even on another same topic on an offshoot there, with what we're doing here with our business, Hela 7, is yes, this is a business, and this is us trying to make a living. But at the same time, you take our 20-plus episodes of Warm Yogurt, that we've put out there that have not earned us a single cent, but yet we still keep pushing our content out there, regardless.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
It's one of those things where it's, we're not going to hide and we're not going to censor ourselves, regardless of whether it makes us money or not.
The only thing
and the bitch of it is that when we do finally start making money off of it, we're probably going to be censored and we're going to lose money.
And we're still going to do it anyway.
But we're still going to put out episodes anyway.
Yeah. The only thing we're censoring is the divide between Hela 7 and our kids shows. And that's just by our choice. Because we don't want the kids to come over to our stuff and say, hey, this is actual adult content. We're saying the F word, everything like that. I don't want other people's kids doing that because I know there are parents out there who are not responsible. But I want kids to watch our actual kids shows that have no adult content in it, and it's just good fun and sparks the imagination and inspiration, which is what kids need. But once again, that comes to choice, not forced censoring.
And, I was raised, just like a lot of people were raised, to know the difference between right and wrong, and to know that you shouldn't go out there and slaughter a whole cafe full of people just because you don't like what they're drinking. Yet I still enjoyed the content of the books I read.
Right.
And, honestly, yeah, a lot of what I've watched and listened to and read have influenced my style and my mannerisms and everything now, but I still keep that morality in check, so to speak. I know the difference between right and wrong.
Yeah.
And, I'm still going to enjoy all this violent shit because it's fuel.
It's also an outlet.
It is.
I mean, even I've met many psychiatrists who have said the same thing. Drawing is an outlet. Just because you see a kid draw violent content does not make them violent. They have an actual outlet that they are using to calm themselves down. It's whenever you see children hurting innocent animals, like literally just destroying innocent animals, that's when you actually have a sociopath on your hands, and you should worry because that's a serial killer in the making.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to someone drawing stuff, and that's once again, that's a problem with schools. Oh, he drew something, we better freaking kick him out of school, throw him in jail.
And I mean, that brings up another interesting point, is because, speaking back with Johnny, him drawing that comic was him releasing that part of him.
Yeah, like I imagine he walked into a Taco Bell, and that's exactly what he was thinking. He's like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And then he went home and he drew that.
I'm sure. But it was his way of releasing that aggression out there. Right. And he got it down in story format, and he illustrated it. And it was just, it was a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
And instead of jamming a fucking needle in his arm or drinking himself fucking stupid, he grabbed a pencil and paper.
Yeah.
And you can't damn a kid for choosing that outlet over drugs and alcohol.
I wouldn't. The weird part is, my daughter, she draws almost everything is about cats and humans and funny content and hugging and whatnot. But occasionally she sees something that, I'm like, whoa, raises an eyebrow a little bit. But then I actually look at it, and it's an actual storyline. Context is what matters. Just because I see blood doesn't mean that she's thinking of hurting someone. It's, there was an actual story of how this took place, what's going on, and in the end you're like, that's a really good story. But nowadays, people see that stuff in school and they're like, we should be worried. No. You watch over them like you do any other fucking kid. And you watch for the signs. Art is an outlet. It is not a sign.
Thank you. Coming from a non-artistic person, that I could have said it any better myself.
In the first book that I ever wrote, the main character's father took a sword and cut a wolf in half. Like literally in half from stem to sternum. Okay? And there was blood and guts, and I wrote about all of it. It does not mean that I want to go out there with a sword and cut a wolf in half. Okay, maybe.
Yes, he does.
A little bit. My point is that just because I write something, I have to delve into the mindset. Sometimes when you write about bad guys, the bad guy in these books, I'm not going to explain anything other than he's fucking evil. And I have to write some evil fucking shit. That does not mean that I want to do that stuff.
Well, just like you were discussing in a prior episode about getting in the mindset of BDSM.
Yeah.
That, yeah, you're not into that shit, but for writing's sake,
yeah, for writing's sake,
story,
at some point,
you gotta put yourself into that mindset.
Right.
And as a creative individual, you're going to delve into places that you don't necessarily want to be.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, just honestly, prime example is Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's an extreme case, but he delved so deeply into the character that he was portraying
method actors, yeah.
that he literally lost his fucking mind.
Yeah. Yeah, he was getting like an hour of sleep a day, and
but the you know, and when I first saw that movie, I fucking hated that portrayal.
Mm.
But the more I see it, it's one of my favorite portrayals, actually.
It
because
does hit the Joker.
He is just so dark and gritty,
right?
And it's a Joker that you've never fucking seen before.
It is the Joker that the Joker actually is. There is no rhyme or reason.
Partially, yeah, exactly. There's no rhyme or reason. Mm-hmm. Like one of the lines in there is, "Some people just want to see the world burn."
Mm-hmm.
That's all he wanted. He doesn't want the money. He doesn't want this, that, the other thing. He's there to fuck shit up.
Yeah. And I know people like that.
And I mean, you take like a pretty boy chick flick actor like Heath Ledger, mm-hmm. and
turn him
change him into a monster. That's going to mind fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
it really will.
Yeah.
But as a creative individual,
mm-hmm. you have to do it.
He pushed himself to that limit.
Right.
And obviously that was his limit.
I am rather shocked with the books that I've written that I am not an alcoholic. I should be an alcoholic.
We should all be alcoholics, but but you know, it's that people are putting so many fucking restraints on creative individuals,
right,
that they're not allowed to use their outlet.
Right.
Like the very first day of school, I sat down with my daughter's art teacher and was like, "This is how I teach her art at home. I don't put restrictions on her. I understand you got a class to teach, but if she gets done with your lesson, let her do her own thing."
Right.
You know, because when she's at home, all restrictions are off. It's like, you want to create? Let's create.
Right.
What is in your head? Let's put it on paper.
Right.
And I encourage it in her. If she's having a bad day, I want to see a fucking scary picture.
A rage
If
fest.
she's having a great day, I want to see a happy picture.
I want to see some sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah. Let me know. If that's your way of letting me know how you're feeling, more power to you.
Yeah. Because some kids...
And then we can discuss it further if you want.
Kids inherently do not want to talk to their parents about everything.
Right.
But that art is an explanation in and of itself.
Yes and no, because as an artist, when I'm drawing or painting,
Mhm.
it's what I'm feeling.
Right.
But when you look at it, you're going to interpret something completely different. You're not going to know exactly how I'm thinking and feeling when I'm doing this piece. So a kid could draw a scary picture, and you could interpret it as one thing, but they actually just meant it as something else.
The monster under my bed.
Right. But you could be looking at it going, oh, that's not a monster under the bed. That's a kid that's bullying her in school, and she's
Right.
scared to talk about it. Which is what most of these motherfuckers think when they see shit.
Fucking helicopter parents. Yeah.
Assumption is the mother of all fuck-ups.
Damn right.
You know, so, that's why we're losing so many good TV shows and so many good movies, is because all these restraints that are being put on these creative people,
Mm-hmm.
that you have to change your whole fucking mentality just to suit a couple of butthurt sensitive assholes.
Mm-hmm. Thus the rise
That's
of the
ridiculous.
internet, where the people no longer had to go to the FCC and ask permission to put on a TV show. They didn't have to
Right,
worry
but
about
now-
censors.
But now the internet's trying to fucking censor it.
Yup.
So what's next?
Right. And all it does is create a culture of people who have duct tape over their mouth. And that's not a world I want to live in. You don't like me?
Nope.
You don't have to like me. You don't have to agree with me. It doesn't mean I'm going to hate you. If you hate me, there's something wrong with you. Because you disagree with me on a topic. Who fucking cares? It's not a thing. When you start hating people because they disagree with your point of view, you really do have to look at yourself, not at them. And when you censor people because you don't like content, that's also on you, not on them. Because where you stand, there are 1,000 other people who disagree with you.
And the funny thing is these same people that are pushing for censorship are the same ones that are pushing to have God in the classrooms and this, that, and the other thing.
No, actually,
You know,
it's becoming the reverse. In the 90s, it was the religious right. Now, it's the left. It's the Democrats that are doing it. They are absolutely pushing for it. They are censoring everybody that they disagree with. Google, YouTube, everything like that. They are fucking coming. Facebook, they are coming after people that if you speak any type of Republican, I mean, anything that you would say would be censored. It's getting to that point. That if you agree with if you disagree with the left in anything, they are coming after you. You will be banned off of Twitter. Your YouTube channel will be demonetized and censored to the point where it needs to be shut down. And then Google will not put your website up for anybody to search for. They literally dehumanize you. You cease to be. And that's all done before government steps in. It's like the one time in my life I actually think government should step in and say, no, I'm sorry. You're a fucking monopoly. You will adhere to the Constitution and the rights of the people. You cannot censor people. And I'm a big fan of businesses doing whatever the fuck they want. But when you have a monopoly like Google that owns over 75% of the fucking internet, we got a problem. And you need to sort that shit out. Because people are getting censored, shut down left and right because you don't want to hear what they have to say. I got news for you. Don't click on the website. Don't watch the fucking video. There. I just saved you all that time.
You should have said that at the beginning.
Well, that was my wrapping up conversation.
Well, I mean, I say save SpongeBob, bring back the Boondocks, give John K. Ren and Stimpy back, and Jonan Vasquez, I want a Johnny the Homicidal Maniac movie.
And there we have it.
So
shows that cannot be seen anymore should just be let roam free and let the free market decide.
I think that one of these billionaires out there needs to create their own fucking internet and let all of us go over there.
Well, it's starting to come. We got BitChute and other things like that. They're starting to channel it to where you can't shut people down. It's getting to that point where they're coming up with blockchain, things like that, that it's all not connected and yet connected to the point where they can't even censor it if they want to. People are fighting back, and they're getting there. But it's going to take time. The problem is, will we suffer for it in the meantime?
Well, yeah, we're definitely going to suffer for it. But honestly, if we can clear the path for our kids to continue our work, then we're doing the right. Then we're doing the right fucking thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then it's not all in vain.
Yeah. Doesn't matter what side you're on. No one should be censored.
And dicks out for Harambe.
Porn for Harambe. So next time, I'm Xavier.
And I'm Mr. J, and we will catch you guys next time.